Attorney General Geoffrey Cox and Brexit Secretary Stephen Barclay were left deadlocked on a fresh Brexit deal after a 4-hour meeting with Michel Barnier, the EU's chief negotiator. EU sources tonight revealed the Brussels negotiator was expected to sign off on compromises that allow Mr Cox to reverse his previous legal warnings that the Irish backstop could endure indefinitely. But after the lengthy talks, which involved dinner at the European Commission's Berlaymont headquarters, UK and EU negotiators left empty-handed. Ahead of the meeting, Mr Cox revealed there was a positive feeling that a Brexit compromise could be hammered out. Upon arriving in the Belgian capital, the Attorney General was asked where there was hope of a deal being reached tonight. Mr Cox replied, "I'm sure there is. There's always hope, reasonable conversations going on, but you're not going to expect me to comment. These are very sensitive discussions." Brexit news. Work on Theresa May's backstop compromise broke down during Geoffrey Cox talks. Image Getty. A Brussels source familiar with the recent Brexit negotiations admit Mr Barnier's mood had been more positive than previous weeks. They said, he has been a lot calmer than recently and has been getting on with Geoffrey Cox, but for night, UK and EU officials have both said that there is no updates on offer from this evening's negotiations. Meanwhile, Ireland's Deputy Prime Minister Simon Coveney also revealed it is too early to be optimistic that a compromise will be reached ahead of the next meaningful vote, which is expected to take place on March 12. Mr Coveney said, "We want to ensure that the backstop is a temporary arrangement. We have been building on documents published in December and building on timelines. We're in the space of trying to provide clarity that temporary means temporary. It's too early to be optimistic. My understanding is the negotiations have been difficult." Ahead of his trip to the Belgian capital, the Brexit secretary penned a letter outlining Parliament's decision to support an amendment tabled by Alberto Costa, which called for bilateral agreement to protect the rights of EU citizens in the UK and British nationals in the rest of the EU in the event of no deal. Mr Barclay's letter reads, "The government's position remains that the withdrawal agreement provides the best way of providing confidence to citizens. Nonetheless, given our shared commitment to protecting the rights of citizens in all scenarios, I would welcome your views on the proposal put forward by our Parliament to ring-fence citizens' rights, and I propose that we discuss this issue in more detail when we meet."